April 1986, Pripyat, Ukraine. Operator errors cause Reactor 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant to explode violently, releasing large amounts of radioactive isotopes into the surrounding areas and atmosphere. Fast forward about 30 years, and a bunch of virtual terrorists are trying to blow up a weapons cache in some nearby warehouses. But even decades later, dangerous levels of radiation prevent the surrounding area from being inhabited by humans apart from for short tours and visits. So how would this affect our in-game characters? Theoretically, of course. To work all this out, we'll need to find Cash's exact location in the real world, which is pretty simple when it comes to it. Behind T-Spawn we can see the reactor building of the destroyed plant, with the ventilation stack towering into the sky. Sources say this tower, IRL, is about 75 meters or 250 feet tall. By standing in the map, looking at it and using the console to find the angle, we can work out the lateral distance from the tower and the plant. So that none of you can question my maths, I'm just going to use this website. 75 meters tall at a 43-degree elevation gives us a result of about 80 meters away. Some Google mapping puts this location here, just west of the reactor building we see in game. So this handy website has the radiation level of the surrounding areas of Reactor 4, which is about 2.5 millisieverts per hour, or roughly half the radiation dose of a dental X-ray. For a dosage to be fatal, you'll need more than 4 whole sieverts at once, or about 32 million rounds of Counter-Strike. So it's perfectly safe, right? But here's the catch. While there are many types of radiation and harmful energy, the main culprit in Chernobyl was the massive release of cesium-137, an element that is often part of nuclear waste. This particular isotope releases beta particles, which have enough energy to damage human cells by ionization. If one of these beta particles hit molecules of human DNA, they can cause mutations and lead to cancers and tumours in our bodies. While the chance of this happening is fairly low, the right particle in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. Speaking of things in the wrong place, why is this Ferris wheel from the amusement park here? Sure, it's a cool model, but in reality it's located in the city centre, nowhere near the power plant itself, but I digress. While cancers can take a long time to develop and have a relatively low chance of forming, if you were to become contaminated by even a tiny amount of radioactive materials by ingesting or inhaling it, the radiation doses it releases could destroy your body from the inside with devastating effects. There's the famous case of Alexander Litvinenko, a defector of the Russian KGB living in the UK who was spiked with a radioactive polonium-210, which gave a dose of radiation hundreds of times that of a fatal one, killing him within days. While cesium isn't nearly as dangerous as that, it could still have a large effect. It has an activity of about 3.2 terabecquerels and a half-life of, conveniently, 30 years, meaning that around now half of the substance released in the explosion is still unstable and releasing dangerous particles. Ingesting just milligrams of this somehow would still have an activity of over a gigabecquerel, which alone equates to twice the maximum dose for a radiation worker in a whole year, and enough to have a sizably increased cancer risk, potentially severely reducing the lifetime of the victim. So all in all, what have we learned today? Well, you're far more likely to be shot in the face than die of radiation poisoning on Cash. But if you didn't have the sense to wear a gas mask like those CTs, then you better hope that the kill reward money pays off your medical insurance.